Hi guys, just a quick update. Nothing super crazy, but MU, we had a really good kind of bounce off of this trend line today, as you guys can see, where we had this obviously higher low trend line extending up and through that September low. We obviously caught in late October, and then we caught again today with higher volume, and we had a nice hammer with some really good buyers coming in towards the end of the day. And this chart, I mean, really kind of do or die here. I think if we end up breaking underneath this trend line, we're more than likely going to visit this 98, 99 level, which is this double bottom. I think likely fail down to 96.18. So yeah, do or die here. If we end up getting a push out, right, we end up breaking out tomorrow, I think CPI is going to do it. I don't think it's any coincidence that this gap up, this progression gap, right? Remember, this was a bull gap. It now became a bear gap. So we basically have like a double gap here that this needs to reclaim. And it's no coincidence, in my opinion, that it's also our 108 to 105 level that I've been talking about that needs to be reclaimed as well. So pretty simple spot. I'm just going to keep it as like the gap here. I just haven't marked to for aesthetics purposes. It looks a little bit better. It's a little bit cleaner. But really would just look for this to open up and push and either hit 108.38 and then pull back down and hold the bottom of the gap and then push out, base the top. You guys kind of know the drill. And then we look for an extension up, hold 118 or 114.80, and then continue out like that. I would add, and I would feel. Remember last time I said I was thinking about adding up here. I think if we get this pathway, I would be pretty comfortable adding there, right? Just adding against that 105, 108 spot, wherever it ends up being, and then having my risk now be this little higher low here, right? This is going to be, in my opinion, the higher low that either sends us, like I said, it's do or die at this point. But if we end up getting this as our higher low, we can now use that as our risk. And yeah, hopefully this is the definitive spot, which ends up being our bottom. But yeah, just a small update on that one. Intel, where's Intel? We did break under this spot just a little bit, just a slight undercut. And it looks like we're kind of trading into this small gap up here. Not a big deal. I think with this name, it's just important to kind of give it the weekly close. So we'll just wait a little bit longer. And ideally, the price action that's undercut underneath 24.59 just ends up being a wick. Plenty of time on the contracts too. I mean, we have until June of 2025, so a long, long time on these ones. So we can give this some time to let it recover back above 24.59. So not much of a pickle there. Roku kind of started, like I said, what I wanted today. I put it in the chart chat. We rejected the top of the gap, so we're just looking for now a high tight flag, right? I mean, high tight flag, some kind of divergent pullback. We need to make sure volume stays low as well, and looking for this to trade down into the EMAs on either, well, not either, but a decreased spread and a divergence as well in terms of volume. And then Riot, pretty simple as well. Just maybe like one more pullback day if we can get it down to 1307 to 1281. Kind of catch up to the EMAs as well, but just essentially retesting this old progression gap and these old daily / weekly highs up here. This is an easy retest spot. So those are like the four main ones that I've been kind of stalking. I think those are going to be the most actionable. I've talked to you guys that I think the highest conviction ones are going to be MU and Intel and Roku. Those are like the main three. Now there's a couple more, or just, yeah, I mean, I shouldn't say a couple more that we can add on here, but these guys should get moved up, right? And I think tomorrow Oxy falls off. Oxy kind of underperformed with their earnings. Just, you know, not a crazy thing. I just took some contracts for their earnings. If you guys didn't see it in the alert section I think it was like a week ago. We ended up getting like 30% on them or something like that. But it had a nice move, right? I think I went like 10 to 15% on these, or 20% at most, maybe 25. Earnings beat, double beat, but really sold off, right? It kind of got above 51.32, which on this daily spot, which is right around here. So you could have considered maybe this like some kind of breakout attempt. And it failed, right? So it didn't really break risk. So these contracts actually won't even lose value, which is funny because our ads are essentially against this low here. But now, you know, not really worth it in my opinion. You could hold these if you want. I would just rather free up the cash. So I'm probably going to close that. That will drop off. But kind of looking at Tesla, guys, I mean, this is a great start to the pullback that we wanted. Did fill the bull gap here from the close to the open up here. Needs a little bit more room, as you guys can see, like right around there. But I can see this coming down a little bit further to retest that 300 to like 280 spot. This is going to be really big, right? This is a big, big spot here for it to retest. I'm just going to stay patient with that one. I think I saw it, not that it's like something I'd trade off of, but I did see Kramer say that this is going to continue to go higher. So if you're an inverse Kramer guy, this is this is a good sign because this is definitely going to come down if you trade that way. But just staying patient with this one. So this is kind of like back burner, but still I have my alerts and I'm ready to pounce on this one. We can tie coin into that as well. I think coin's kind of gone, but just still, I have my alerts set for this old high back here at like 270. Like I guess we can even say like to like 85. Right, just kind of like a little zone here, a little demand zone. So just a small update on that one. Let's extend this across really quickly. What else? What else? What else? Did I miss anything? Oh, Amazon's a new one I want to add, guys. I think Amazon looks pretty good. Amazon, just basically back here, right? Just retesting this old high. This name, I think if it can give us some kind of pullback, and everything's lining up in terms of this being a flag off of the 9 EMA. If you take a look at the volume anomalies as well, the breakout was on good harmonic volume. The sell-off has been on sell volume that's much less, right? So this is a pretty good chart from like a volume or VPA perspective. I would like to see it maybe pull back down one more day and retest essentially 201 to 203. Like give us the actual touch here. If that's the case, I think this can go to like 215, 220-ish. Maybe push for another high. That's just why I said the 215, 220. If you wanted to play it really tight, you could probably just go like 210, 212. I think there's a 212 call, 212 and a half. But I would be looking for like December 20th, 215 calls, 220 calls. Yeah, this chart looks really good, guys. And we also have, you have to think, we have Black Friday coming up. I think we have Amazon Prime Day. There's a lot of little things that are going to come. I think nuances that could help propel this just with the front running aspect of it going into those data sets. But yeah, this chart looks good as well. So I wanted to add that on. I was looking at Google as well, but I don't know. This name looks a little bit iffy with it potentially sweeping this gap high. If this can push out in base, this might get added to the list as well with a break in base, and I could see this going to like 190. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Just a quick little update. 7 minutes shouldn't take much of your time. In terms of priority, MU, Intel, Roku, and then just waiting for pullbacks on Tesla coin, and I'm kind of looking at Amazon as well if it can pull back a little bit more, and then Riot's kind of that back end, because I don't like trading crypto names, but this can pull back to 13. That's a great spot as well. Had a good trade on SPY today. I mean, I don't really need to review that, but GME, we'll see what GME does. I mean, you guys should know why I took this, right? I mean, this is pretty simple. Kind of broke out through this 25 spot. It retested the 25 spot. Saw some decent action midday, like right around here, I would say, when we got that higher low, and I just took a couple more contracts on those. I took 3 more, totaling me at, I think it's 8. Let me see. Yeah, 8 contracts, right around 94 cents. So this obviously sold down in after hours, but I think it's actually up in after hours, like the 24-hour session. So it's at like 20. I want to say it like right around here again, like 26-ish. But the daily chart looks really good. There's no way to ignore this. Really, if it can hold, and I think we get a cool CPI print, I think we can push to that 29.80 level. Hence the $30 call. Obviously saw some crazy flow come through today as well. Really couldn't ignore it. So I figured it was worth grabbing some contracts on this one. You know, I'm never going to put super heavy size into this one, especially you know, considering we've been shopping this long. Back here, it was a little more, I wouldn't say euphoric, but we had a crazy rally, a retest of that gap, so it looked a little bit better, a little healthier. This still looks healthy, it's just we've kind of exhausted, I think, a lot of the moves, so just felt like it was worth taking something. So we'll see how this ends up doing tomorrow with CPI.